Hello everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be covering HITIF, and that is Hightide. Okay, so right now they are on the OTC market and they are working on getting the NASDAQ compliance by doing a reverse merger. So that is bringing the stock price much higher, but that is not the main thing bringing the stock price higher. The main thing is, of course, their great outlook on the next year, with currently sitting at a $390 million market cap. Last year they brought in roughly 80 million plus. We could expect this year that their revenue even doubles from then. So we are hitting double-digit growth every single year, and this thing is at least going to be 50% or higher on the revenue. We've gotten some results already, but today we're going to go over this stock a little bit more into detail. But before that, remember to subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that one a lot if you guys could do that for me. I just started this one. We have Market Theory. That one's at like 3,000 subs, but this one just started, and we're talking about pennies, SPACs, growth stocks. So if you're into any of those three things, subscribe to this channel. And remember, free stocks are down below. Those are always free and they help out me and they help out you. You could just receive a bunch of free stocks, basically get free money, and then just pull your money out if you wish. And that's on Webull, M1 Finance, Robinhood. All three of those brokerages are down below. So first things first, let's talk about their growth. So they've opened, I think it's around 5 stores in 2 weeks. So that is kind of the growth that they're going on right now. This growth is incredible. And once they hit this NASDAQ, I'm going to be very excited. But the 75th store opened up in Canada, and I think this one is the 76th that opened up yesterday, and this was in London, Ontario, Canada. And they are still just touching the surface on how many people they could actually reach with this. They are still just in Canada. A massive Canada retailer is what they're going to be. But this reminds me of a play I had before, and that is True Leaf Cannabis. And that's a stock I picked up, and it's gone up 100 and something percent already since when I bought it. This reminds me a lot of that because these weed stocks, they just boom, they soar. But a bunch of reasons why I think this thing is set to grow. First of all, they acquired Metagrowth in November of 2020, which makes them the largest retailer in Canada, the largest. Just to put that into perspective, they are still very, very small, but they could grow so fast, and they are taking over Canada real hot. They only had 72 existing stores whenever this started, but they're up to 76 now, and they are on pace to do 115 stores by the end of 2021. Ontario currently is their main growth strategy, or not their main growth strategy, but a big opportunity for them. As the government, we're starting to get some government help from these companies, right? These companies are starting to get some help here, and the retail cap is going from 30 to 75. They are already by far the largest between Hightide and Meta. They are much larger as in total stores and total revenue and market cap. So if we look at Hightide's forward evaluations, first of all, we are going to see profits and actual EBITDA profit this next year. Currently is what we're expected. But as for it versus competitors, it was very cheap before it got listed up on the markets, but as it's been listed on the markets, it's at a 2 price to sales ratio. Just in comparison, if we look at True Leaf, which is another company I really like and have been invested in for a long while now, all the way back when it was in its 30s, it is sitting at a 13.65 and a forward P of 38. So from a price to sales ratio, Hightide is a very good value in this industry, which is an industry that's getting a lot of government push to actually be pushed out. It's a great tax opportunity for all these governments, including Canada, and they are the biggest player in Canada. We're not even talking about America yet. That is something they could grow into eventually, of course. As for future earnings, what we could expect. So in the last quarter, they reported $24 or $25 million of revenue, and that was Q4 levels. But this is something he said on the transcript. This is the CEO. The CEO comes out very publicly and is very, very transparent with the numbers and is always given a good idea. But this is their projections for the quarter to start off fiscal year 2021, and they expect revenue to be at 37 to 38 million. So that represents a huge increase from the previous 25 million just a quarter ago. We're going to be seeing this over and over. Just last year, they have 118% year over year growth. Now the growth is there hands down, but what about the business? What do you need to know about this business? What needs to grow? So the main two companies, these are the two big dogs here, the one that they acquired, which is Meta, and then Canna Cabana. This is their retailer, Canna Cabana, and this is Meta, and this is a retail network as well. But as for that, they have so many other things that they are trying to get into private labeling or white labeling, that is, and all of that is very similar. But look at the list of companies. A big one right here, Famous Brands. You've probably heard of this one. This is one with big partnerships with Snoop Dogg, Trailer Park Park Boys and Paramount Pictures. So Famous Brands is one of those well-known ones, but these are all different parts or segments of their business, which just equates to a massive potential market cap on this stock. When it's only sitting at a, what, 389 market cap, this thing is going to be ridiculously on the growth. If we get a 100% increase this year, so that would be a ×2 right here. That would give us 166 million in revenue. And if we could just stay at that 3 times price to sales ratio, that brings us another $100 million up on just the market cap. So in a year from now, we could be looking at a solid gain, basically 50% in stock price. I could see even going higher because we're going to be expecting growth in the future. And this is one that I'm going to be pounding money into. I think we'll see how the stock goes as in the price targets and the price in general. But at this range, I'm happy at buying in. Now, I wish I would have gotten in a little bit earlier here, other than my first buys ever, which were over here. But in a market where they're the #1 player with so many different white label brands, different retail stores, from a penny stock perspective, even after this reverse split, I still see that this thing has the highest upside in the market, in this industry at least. Now, I've been watching the other ones run up in my accounts, like Trulieve, for example, and all of these companies have ran up to the point where, like, it's hard to buy them. Like Aurora Cannabis, this one is at a 6 price to sales ratio. We had Trulieve at, what was it, 13. So once this company, I see in 3 years, if we just start seeing exponential growth, just like we saw in Aurora Cannabis, if we start seeing this over here in the Canadian company, we could see this thing sitting at a $2 billion valuation. That could be 2 to 3 years from now. If that is the case, and we're sitting at roughly 400 million right now, that's at least 400% gains over the next few years. So let me know what you guys think of Hightide, and remember that this is a penny stock, but over all the penny stocks I cover, like, this is one that is the most legitimate of a business. Now, there's a lot of penny stocks that we cover that are really speculative, but this is a company that's actually doing it, actually opened up stores, and actually has real customers and real revenue. And that's something I really like about Hightide Cannabis Company. So I'm calling it here. This is our next 4x play over the next 2 years. Hightide penny stock. Get in now before the reverse split. It's going to be cheaper now. Obviously, it doesn't really actually make a difference, but once they get that NASDAQ going in for them, it's going to be available for other brokerages as well. Right now, you need a big brokerage to get into it, so you need one of the big guys, a Fidelity, a TD, you know, a Charles, whatever kind, because this is an OTC stock, and a lot of those other companies don't support those yet, like Webull and Robinhood. They don't have that yet. So you have to purchase this on a brokerage that supports OTC stocks. So remember to do that before NASDAQ if you are looking to get into this one. If you're not looking to get it, let me know what you guys think of it, because if there is more bearish cases against this company, please let me know, because I obviously want that. I'm not going to be ignorant to the fact that there's always bearish and bullish statements on every single stock. So please go ahead and let me know on that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.